What is going on, you guys? Missedthepart here, back again with another video. So in this video we find Peter Parker. He just can't take enough of this. You know, he's pretty much had enough at this point where, you know, he promised Uncle Ben that he would no longer become Spider-Man, and you know, he pretty much has a target behind his back where Flash is actually, you know, picking on him so much that he's like, you know, I'm gonna regret something. So he ends up running away, and he actually starts living on the streets homeless. And Peter Parker finds himself sleeping with his Spider-Man clothes, and he needs to steal food, and he needs to do all these different things and alternatives, you know, to keep him alive. You know, he needs to make web fluid, he needs to steal food at the supermarket at night, and you know, this is just another side of Spider-Man that we've never seen before. And you know, there's so many people like calling him a menace, and you know, he's not at the front page of the books anymore. You know, we have the Hulk, he's pretty much at the front page, and he actually says, and he sees other people in his city who have powers like he does, see what they do with them. So he takes a page from their book. So, you know, he starts actually fighting different villains, like he starts fighting Doc Ock, he starts fighting the Vulture, and he starts fighting the Lizard. And he has some mega battles with these characters that, you know, we've seen in the original 616 universe. And then when it comes up, he faces the one and only Green Goblin, and you know, it means more to him than a reward for his service. So, you know, he's really trying to fight the Green Goblin. And, you know, he really truly sees what the Green Goblin has done, where the Green Goblin actually would bomb a street, and tons of people would actually be killed. And Spider-Man would say, "You total nutbag, look what you've done." And, you know, he sees so many people dead, and Green Goblin pretty much just says, "And many more will fall, Spider-Man. All who stand in the way of the Green Goblin should know their life is foreign." And he pretty much just tells, you know, Spider-Man, like, you know, I don't care about anybody. And Spider-Man's just like, you know, I've had enough of this, you know, this is it. And he ends up going and he spins his webs on his face, and the Green Goblin actually spirals out of control and ends up hitting a building, blowing the entire building up. And you know, he actually stands before the Goblin, and the Goblin has pretty much ascended at this point. He's pretty much killed. And you know, Spider-Man's like, you know, I can't believe I killed the Goblin. He's like, I didn't mean to, like this is horrible. And you know, the police couldn't even believe it, because you know, they see that he just killed him. And you know, he said it was having to be good and strong for Aunt May that made him embrace the great power and responsibility. And you know, he doesn't really know great power and responsibility yet during this issue. So like, you know, the reason he kills the Goblin is because, you know, he doesn't really know that much. So you know, he ends up killing the Goblin, and you know, he's like, oh my god, like, you know, like Norman Osborn was the Green Goblin, and he spirals out of control. And you know, he's pretty much like guilty for everything, and you know, there's no justice, and Harry's father was killed. And you know, Peter would pretty much just say like, but Uncle Ben didn't do anything but try to protect me, and he's rotting away in prison, and it's all my fault. And he would actually punch a wall. And yeah, that's what actually would happen. You know, we have the Green Goblin would pretty much make this reality's Spider-Man really go berserk and out of control, because you know, once he kills the Green Goblin, that's when he really figures out in this reality, like, oh my god, like I just killed somebody. And you know, we've never seen Spider-Man actually murder somebody, so you know, this is why when he does murder the Goblin by accident, and you know, everybody turns on him, this is what happens to Spider-Man, is that like he can't take it, and eventually he goes down almost the dark path. And that's where we end our video. So what is your thoughts on Spider-Man accidentally killing the Green Goblin in this comic book? Because, you know, surprisingly, you know, he kind of did deserve it, because, you know, he killed a bunch of people on the street. But then again, you know, Spider-Man didn't actually mean to kill him, but, you know, this was his really first encounter with him, so he didn't know how to take him out. And, you know, he took him out using his eyes. You know, he spun some webs in his eyes, and he got out of control, blew up the entire building. You know, we don't know if there was casualties or not, but that's what happened in this comic book. And you know, it's just a really interesting story to see like how events would actually unfold of where, Spider-Man would verse the Green Goblin. So definitely a really cool issue, and we're going to be going on to the next issue in the next video, so do make sure you turn your notifications on so you and your friends are all up to date. And if you guys are new around here and like the comic content that you guys are seeing recently, do make sure to subscribe, like, share, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Anyways, as always, peace out.